I first want to welcome each and every one of you here. We are surrounded by greatness, I feel, whether you're here in the audience or here tuning in from home. We are so glad to be with you. And, it's great to be in good company. It makes you feel comfortable, and it makes you feel like you can be real and be yourself, right?
Right.
But I just want to tell you guys that you have already accomplished the hardest task it is when you make that commitment to personal development, and that is showing up. It takes a special person to actually say they're going to do something and then actually commit to doing it and showing up. So I congratulate you. We applaud you for being here. As Nate had said, we're all here for a reason. There's a reason why you're here. There are nuggets that you're going to take away here. And we're so excited about what's about to unfold before us. And I just want to say, I know we want to get started here. Are you guys ready? Do you want to hear from Dr. John C. Maxwell?
Absolutely.
Awesome, me too. What about some of the top network marketing leaders in this industry? Well, I can tell you, I was kind of wrapping my brain around everybody that's going to be represented here on stage, and I was thinking, man, we've got a couple of centuries worth of experience that's going to be represented on this stage. So talk about some amazing nuggets that you're going to be able to get and take notes from. So I want to ask Mark to really set us up. How can we best prepare for what's about to unfold before us?
You know, when you talk about the fact that there's centuries worth of knowledge in network marketing in this room, and as you're watching from home, the first thing that comes to my mind is that first lesson that probably most of us got from our mentors, but maybe didn't listen to, and that was, I can take years off your learning curve if you'll just be coachable, if you'll just listen to me, right? And so it's so awesome. It's kind of like the looking glass into people that have really sharpened their axe and have gone through the learning curve. And so we wanted to set you up with some tips of how to make sure this class and all future opportunities of personal growth are very effective for you. The first thing is, get excited. Okay, you made a decision to go on a path of personal growth, and that's not an easy decision to make. Actually, it's kind of an out-of-the-box decision because the masses are not making a decision to go on a journey of personal growth. And so get excited about that. Get in the right mindset. Take good notes. You would think that we probably wouldn't have to say that. You invested to be here today. Those of you that are in our global audience, you paid your fee to take the class. I can't tell you, as I travel the world in network marketing, probably one of the most disappointing things is when you come to an audience and you're a speaker and you're on stage. And I know everyone here that is a speaker knows where I'm about to go. And you look in the audience and they're not taking notes. They're just simply not taking notes. So if you're sitting at home right now and you've got your distraction-free zone and you're sitting there saying, I'm ready to grow, well, we're going to give you one last chance, and we won't know. Grab a napkin, grab your kid's crayon real quick. You've got to take notes. Don't trust your future to your memory. A lot of people try to do that. They come to a seminar, or they listen to a tape, or they read a book. I don't do anything like that without having a pen or a highlighter or something that I can scratch down those one-liners to allow me to remember what I learned. Another thing that Tammy and I absolutely love is rereading our notes and rereading our journals. It's amazing when you go back over your career, and the folks that are in this room that have been in the industry 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, they have shelves of journals that they're able to go back and pull a journal out at any time. Don't think for a second that a top leader doesn't have a down moment in their business. Don't think for a second that a speaker that's on stage doesn't have some doubt every once in a while. The difference is we've all learned how to deal with it. And one of the ways to deal with it is that personal growth, personal development, and reaching for that journal of one of those special moments. It might be today for you where you read a note that you wrote to yourself, or you highlight something in a book that motivates you to go to the next level. So it's super important. Also, be coachable. Okay, every single superstar in this room at one point in their career was not coachable. I don't know one person that showed up in our business that was like, I'm super coachable. They might have said it, right, y'all? They might have said it, but we know that most people don't show up and all of a sudden be coachable. So you have to go through that learning curve of the things that you know and you've been successful at in your business outside of network marketing. You have to kind of table those things for a second. This is a different industry. It's a little weird sometimes because it has a different set of rules. And so just trust us. Be coachable. Be ready to receive today so that you can get everything you can out of this class.
So we want to go into a little bit of our story just to kind of give you a background of who we are, where we came from, why are these two people looking kind of a little crazy, maybe getting a little crazy throughout the next
Speak
few
for yourself.
minutes.
Speak for yourself.
No. Who are they and why are they there? So we've been in this industry for about 16 years. When we got started, I was a full-time college student. I was also working a job. Mark was in the Navy. We came from a military background. Both of our parents were in the military. And pretty much we were expecting our first kid, completely broke, no experience, no knowledge. We had no business being in this business. Yep. And so for us, we realized we wanted something different for ourselves. And we said, you know what? We knew early enough, in order for our circumstances to change, we had to change. So that was one good, smart thing that we had to add to the table. There, amongst a lot of other really crazy things, silly things that didn't work for us. But we were hungry, and we really wanted this to work. And so in our first year of business, it was rather difficult. We were spinning our wheel. We were doing everything we thought we were doing everything our upline was telling us to do, thinking we were doing the right things, and really we were full of self-doubt. And I know John C. Maxwell just talks about that self-doubt and defeating that. And so that's why we're so attached to personal development, because we knew we got in our own way. We stopped our own success from happening. And so it didn't help when our friends and family were not supportive. I remember our family would come over and say, hey, we're all going to do a family day. And we're like, oh my gosh, I have calls. I have 3-way calls lined up. What am I going to do? And they would say, when are you going to quit and get a real job? And that was hard. And
Don't say that in this room. Did you hear the crowd in this room?
Did you hear that?
Can you all in the global stage hear? You have a lot of backup in this room. You hear that energy? Don't you dare tell someone that in this industry. We got your back. We got your back.
But, we only had each other to pull strength from. And so when family members would say that to us, we're like, oh my gosh, this makes it really difficult. It makes us feel guilty a little bit. And then on the other side, where we thought we had friends that would always support us and cheer us on, that was not the case for us. We were actually in a company where we were not able to grow. We actually, because he was in the military, we were in a place that we didn't know anybody. Our family was I'm originally from Montana. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. And so the places that we came from, we weren't allowed to do business in. So our entire warm market was out of the picture. And so we were thinking, oh my gosh, how difficult is this? But then on top of that, our friends and family are just like anti. They're not going to help us. They're not supporting us. And anytime they ask us to go hang out and we're like, sorry, we can't go out to dinner with you guys tonight. We don't have any money and we also have to work. And it was so boring and people were just so anti. And so they shunned us. So that made it difficult. And so those are some of the things that we had to overcome. But we were spinning our wheels just trying to get somewhere. We were going nowhere fast. And I think that we mastered reinventing the wheel. I know there are some people that know us. Some of you know us.
This is a wheel shape. I think that's why they did it. That was all the reinventors.
Some of you know us from our previous company, and you can actually attest to this story. You saw us when we were real bad, like beyond the worst person that you know. We were pretty bad. So if there was ever a book written about how to screw up network marketing, that book would be authored by my husband.
And that's okay. That's okay, because the co-author would be my wife, okay? So I'm not going to just go out on the global arena like that right here. It's the beginning of the training. And I'll tell you what, though, we were pretty bad. And here's the thing. As you're watching this here today, especially if you're new to the network marketing industry, the reality is we've all made tons of mistakes. So if you've been beat up a little bit and you're making the mistakes, and you have to understand that we've all made those mistakes. It's how quickly can you identify that you're making those mistakes? How quickly can you identify that you need to become more coachable? Because the people that you're mentored by in your company and the mentors that you're being instructed by on the stages and the tapes in your company and the conventions, these are people that have done it before. So you can shave years off your learning curve by just simply listening to some of the things that they tell you. Now, just to have some fun here today, of course, they're going to tell you what not to do. So I was one of those guys. I'm kind of a slow learner. I showed up into the industry. I'm this, Navy guy. I don't need anyone to coach me. I'm in the Navy. I don't need any book. I don't need to read the manual. Just let me at this thing. And, so I failed miserably, by the way, with that attitude. But I had this attitude that it was like a conspiracy theory. Everything that they said from stage not to do must really mean that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm serious. We could write a book on 101 ways of not how to do this. Tammy is right. So you guys want to have a little fun? Yeah. Okay, we'll poke fun at Mark, right? I won't blame it on Tammy. She was just a victim of the situation. So, I had our last $100 to our name when we first got in the industry. And there's a couple of people in here that actually knew us back then. And, we were struggling in the military, last $100. So of course, you go to Kinko's and you get the most fluorescent pink flyers that you can possibly create. And so we have, a couple hundred, I think it was a deal on 500 flyers, because that's what everybody does when they first join the industry. You do all the things. You get a billboard in your local town. You put your 800 number on it. That stuff doesn't work, okay? Listen to your coaches. But we did it anyways, and so it's freezing cold in the middle of the winter in Rockville, Maryland, and my wife is, unbeknownst to us, but probably about a week away from delivering our first child. Almost delivered the child right there in the parking lot with the flyers. We were walking around a local mall parking lot outside, freezing cold, putting flyers on windshields. I mean, come on, I got it down. I'm a marketer. I knew nothing about business, nothing about sales, nothing about marketing, nothing about network marketing, but I've got this genius idea. And, it's crazy. We look back at it now, and we had our own 800 number. Do you guys remember when you first got your own 800 number? And we put that on the flyer, and we ran home. True story. We sat at our kitchen table, and we put the phone right in the middle of the kitchen table. And we just sat there smiling, hungry, because there was nothing in the fridge, because we were that broke, and just sitting there smiling, waiting for the phone to ring. And guess what? It rang. You know who the first call was? It was the mall police. The mall police telling me I needed to get down. You all been called by the mall. You haven't been in this industry 20 years if you haven't been called by the mall police, right? Once again, this is our disclaimer. This is what not to do in network marketing. And the mall police said, it's a $100 fine for every flyer that we have to pick up off the ground in our parking lot. And so I'm like, well, we got to go, babe. And she goes, no. You need to go. I'm pregnant. It's cold out. Your dumb idea with the pink flyers. You go down to the mall. I come back with all my flyers. I actually recycled them and tried it again, and it didn't work the second time.
But the best part of the story is we realized, okay, well, maybe pink flyers at the mall doesn't work. However, we did talk around other leaders in our company. The color is goldenrod yellow. So we went back again and did that, but we did it in other gas stations, everywhere else you can think of, and then, of course, more calls from the authorities.
So it just, you got to be coachable. We're having fun with you, but these are some of the things that you think of that, these people that have come before you that have had success, decades of success, have sharpened their axe, have read the books, have done the time, and they're willing to share that information. That's the information you're going to get today. But sometimes when we're new, we don't want to listen to that. Tammy and I sitting in the audience is up in the nosebleed section of our convention, our first couple conventions. We thought, man, all these people just signed up and became successful. And we finally realized after a lot of trials and tribulations that they had paid a major price. They have read tons of books, more books in a 2-3 year network marketing career than most people will read in their entire lives. And they've gone through this personal growth and this personal development journey, and that's why they were so polished. We just figured you signed it up on your company application, and all of a sudden you're a superstar, and that's just not the case. It takes time and dedication to really get there, and that's what today's about. For a lot of you watching this today, this may be that first day in your life, let alone in your network marketing career, that you make a decision to go on this journey of personal growth that will absolutely change your life. Not just change your business, but literally change your life.
So we're going to actually embark on a journey all together. We're going to go over the 15 laws of growth, which I'm absolutely excited about. I know everything is applicable to everything that we do in and out of business. Just makes you a better person. And so, all of the things none of them are difficult. All of them are very thought-provoking. I know for me, it was very, my jaw dropped. Oh my gosh, wow, did you read this? Did you hear this? Did you see this? I've never heard it put this way before. So there's gonna be a lot of those aha moments, and there's gonna be a lot of action-oriented steps, which we love. We love, just chop it down for us. A, B, C, D, we can do that. We've learned now we won't go reinvent the wheel anymore, but if it's broken down in those steps, we can for sure take those steps. Now, for example, here's a small example of one of the laws that we use that you can break down and apply right away into your life. The law of design. It's all about taking control of your life, creating the life of your dreams by creating systems. So think of, what is something that you do as a habit every single day that is not adding any value to your life? Is that 30 minutes of a program, a TV program that you look at? Maybe it's, going through the grocery store or grabbing a tabloid and saying, oh, I'll read this in my downtime. Well, what if you transfer that downtime to incorporate personal development of some sort? For myself, I have personal development all around me. I do Drive Time University. It's in my car. I've got it playing while I take a shower. I've got it, before bed. I wake up early. I am not a morning person, but I have forced myself. I ask myself, how bad do I really want to change? How bad do I want to improve? And I say, okay, well, it's worth 30 minutes of my sleep time. So I wake up super early to do that. Whatever it is for you that you were willing to give up, I highly encourage you, take that step right now. Make that commitment right now. And I want to ask you, are you worth it?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100% you're worth it. So we want you to take these little steps and just start incorporating them into what you're doing, because I promise you, over the course of a few months, a few years, you are going to completely transform your life.
And you're going to learn a lot through the class here. On the 15 laws, and Tammy talked about the law of design. You're going to get a comprehensive training in this class on the law of design. We're talking about some of the laws that we love. It's kind of fun to say this. It's kind of an oxymoron. I love the law of pain, and it's not because I'm a military guy and all that rah-rah stuff. It's because I realize that the law of pain applies so much to you in this business, that the challenges that you go through, the setbacks that you're going to go through, and you will go through them. This is not a network marketing thing. This is life. If you've ever had a setback in your life, sometimes people think that, they join network marketing and all of a sudden there's these trials and tribulations and setbacks and people quit on you and people tell you things that they're going to do and they don't do. That's not a network marketing thing. That is life. People join gyms all the time. January 1st through the 15th every year, health clubs memberships explode around the world, right? By March, no one's going to them again. It doesn't mean that health clubs don't work. People just quit health clubs. And so you have to realize that, in network marketing, it's just brought out more. I think it's magnified more because of personal growth, because you're surrounded by people that have gone through this journey. They're able to identify some of these things. So with the law of pain, one of the things that I appreciate. Now, I didn't appreciate it when I was going through it. Okay, so right now, some of you, if you're going through it, those of you at home watching this, you're like, man, this guy doesn't understand. I'm going through it right now. I'm on the ramen noodle diet. I'm eating the bowl of ramen noodles right now as he's giving this lesson. Look, we invented like 40 ways to eat ramen noodle, okay? Boil ramen, crack ramen, refried ramen. And we lived on ramen in the military and then lived on ramen again, I guess, in the beginning of our career. So we definitely have been there. But I'm going to tell you what. The best leaders, you survey the leaders in this room, the top leaders in this industry are the ones that embraced the law of pain and understood that was part of the journey. Because if you want to have a large organization, you have to act as if now. So many people have it messed up where they say, when I have a large organization, I'll read. When I get a large group, I'll develop. When I have a big team and hit the top rank, I'll go on the journey of personal growth. You don't realize you have to act as if now, because when you start building that team and you have a team of 10 or a team of 20 and someone's going through something in their life and you've been through it yourself, so you've felt the pain that they're feeling, you're able to coach them and lead them through those moments. The bigger the team, the more those scenarios are going to come up for you. So it's very, very important. I learned this a long time ago, that the size of the challenge that you can solve is indicative of the size of your paycheck. The paychecks that are cashed in this industry, that are large paychecks, that are lifestyle paychecks, those are cashed by people that invest in people, develop people, build leaders, go on a path of personal growth, and they can solve large challenges to a lot of people. It takes time to get there, but today is the beginning of that personal growth journey to start to get you there.
Yes, so the first thing you can do on your journey is just to be consistent in everything that you do. Whatever it is that you plan for your systems, just be consistent about it. Dedicate yourself to it. Commit to it. In our company, we practice the slide edge philosophy. And what is that? That is telling all of our representatives to read 10 pages of a good book every day. Not just any book, 10 pages of a good book. Why 10 pages? Because anybody can do 10 pages. It's something that even the busiest mother of 5 kids can do. Someone that's a corporate executive can do it. Someone that's doing nothing at home can do it as well.
Even the guy that has ADD, that does not like to read, can do 10 pages a day.
And so we talk about this slide edge philosophy through everything that we do because we want to make it very simple for anybody to have success in this industry. Success in this industry is not limited to a special elite group. It's open to anyone and everyone that can take it seriously and take themselves seriously and have some self-respect and some confidence in yourself and believe that you can actually do this.
You know, it's human nature. Human nature is we don't like simplicity because there's nothing to hide from. And I really think that's what throws people off in network marketing is we break it down through systems and training. You know, all the companies in network marketing that are good companies that are really out there, that have the good leadership. I'm not talking about the fly-by-night operations, and that's not the type of people that are in this room here today. We're talking about the professional network marketers. They understand that consistency and going out there and doing it on a daily basis is really how to make it happen. And when you have that, when someone's investing in you, I'm going to tell you what, your business can explode. Let me give you an example of 10 pages a day, because 10 pages a day, you know, for me, it's what can I really accomplish in my life with 10 pages a day? 10 pages of a personal development book a day is about 300 pages a month. The average book is 300 pages. So that means that 10 a day, which anyone can do. It's easy to do. Unfortunately, the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. So sometimes people say, well, what's the catch? I mean, that's so easy. I remember questioning my mentors going, well, 10 pages a day, I can't pay my bills. Okay, I'm working 100 hours a week in the Navy. My wife is a full-time college student. She's about to have her first child. I don't need to be motivated. I need to make some money. 10 pages a day. It was almost like you need 20 pages a day, right? Because I had it out of order. But 10 pages a day, how can that really affect me? Well, you have to look at the exponential growth that you can go through. 10 pages a day is a book a month. It's 12 books a year. If you were to take an organization that's not personally developing, that's not going on a journey of personal growth, that's not reading 10 pages a day, and you were to compare that to an organization, if you just took two distributors, distributor A is not reading, distributor B is reading 10 pages a day. After a month, distributor A and distributor B, they look the same. That's the challenge. They look the same. One took an option to go on a journey of personal growth, one didn't. But in a month, there's no difference. 3 months later, there's 3 books. With distributor B, distributor A still hasn't read. There's still not a lot of difference. They get a little bit of different pep in their step. They probably smile a little bit different. Their music starts to sound a little different. You get that person 6 months from now, a year from now, you got 12 books on someone. You can't even compare those two distributors. You can't compare those two organizations. So not only are you making a decision to go on a journey of personal growth, when you lead by example, your team will do what you do, not what you say. So when they see you reading and when they see you, I make sure I'm always carrying a book. I always have a journal because your group is looking at you. And once you go through that development and your team is seeing it, they will see the change in you. And they're going to want that change. When you build an organization that's on a personal development journey, that's a different organization. You really just can't compare what that looks like. You know, what some people try to do is they try to get all their personal growth at one time, right? So they're like, okay, Mark Smith said to read 10 pages a day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a book, right, in a day. You heard the old saying that the doctor says an apple a day will keep the doctor away. How many people in here have heard that before, right? An apple a day will keep the doctor away. They didn't say eat 7 apples on Sunday, okay? Because that's what a lot of us try to do when we first start. You know, I'm going to read 7 books this week. I'm going to catch up. It's consistency. 10 pages a day of a good book will change your life, and it'll change the people around you.
It's your turn, babe.
Thank you. So I'm getting fired up. You guys fired up? I am. I'm getting excited. It's so hard because I just want to sit down and take notes. I'm like, I can't wait to get my part over because I am ready to grow. We've had some time here to get to know everybody and to see some of the sessions. I got to tell you what, just buckle in for the time of your life, and this is going to set you up for success. You know, in personal growth and personal development, let me ask you a question. So we're in a class today. What's your IQ level? Okay, those of you at home, what's your IQ level? I bet you're like, oh, no, they told me I didn't have to have any qualifications to take this class, right? Don't worry. I was a C student. Actually, I'd say I was a C student. I was a D student and a couple of Fs. That's just where I was. School was not my thing, okay? My dad said, you can join the Navy or you can join the Navy. What's it going to be? You know, I've always wanted to join the Navy, okay? it was the best decision I ever made in my life. And I straightened my life out. But I got to tell you what, I'm not talking about your intelligence level, your IQ level. I'm talking about your I quit level. What is your I quit level? When you join this industry, your I quit level is almost instantaneous. Your friend says it's not going to work, I quit. You know, your cousin that's going to be your superstar that doesn't even open up their kit, I quit. What is your I quit level? You see, in the beginning, you're not prepared for that. But each book that you read and each step that you go through, it strengthens, it hardens you to go to that next level. And it makes your I quit level very, very, very high.
So just a couple of quotes to leave you with. Your team wants to follow a leader, not a follower. You know, a lot of the times you have to realize that most people are followers, and they want to follow someone that has a vision, that knows where they're going and knows how they're going to get there.
You know, and people they want to be around people that have developed. They want to be around people that have done it. You can't just show up to the game, not have ever put on the equipment, step on the field and say, I'm the coach. It just doesn't work that way. People want to follow people that have done it. And so be willing to go through the journey. Be willing to sharpen your axe so that your team can look at you and say, hey, you know what? They've not only say it, they've done it.
And as we have said multiple times, leaders are readers. You need to get out there and read as many books as you can before you lead.
And you know, whether you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. You've probably heard that before from Henry Ford. Thoughts are things. What you think about is going to drastically affect your business. That's either going to come from a negative connotation or it's going to come from personal growth. And when you're reading and when you're developing, the things you think about are positive. And all of a sudden, you start to attract to you the things that you need to be successful.
And in this industry, some people build paychecks and others build leaders. And I guarantee you that the leaders will always outlast the paychecks.
Ooh, that was a good one. And I think that's a very, very important statement. Don't be. There's a lot of wolves dressed in sheep's clothing in this industry and outside of this industry, the self-proclaimed prophets. Look for the people that are doing it right. Don't get enamored by the quick success. Be willing to go through the journey. At the counter of success, you must pay full retail. There is no discounts in success. There's no shortcuts in success. Anyone that I've ever met in my life, in and outside of network marketing, that is what I would consider successful, someone that I would want to be like, has gone through the journey, has read the books, has done the time. That's really, really what it takes. And really,
what does personal development have to do with any of this? It has absolutely everything to do with this. If you want to recruit more people, you need more personal development. If you want to sell more product, you need more personal development. If you want a better relationship with your family, you need to practice more personal development. If you want to lead a large team,